Hello friends, and welcome to SermonLink. My name is Pastor Katya Broadbeck, and today we are looking at Matthew and the story of Jesus' birth through Matthew's perspective and Matthew's gospel. And just kind of to tell you, I'm wearing a shawl, and it's just a beautiful winter day here in central Ohio. It's about -3 Celsius, or I don't know, maybe 26 or 25 Fahrenheit. So it feels like Christmas, at least here in the kind of a colder parts of the country or colder parts of the world. And so I'm excited to talk about this text that I am preaching on the 4th Sunday of Advent that is coming. And of course, Christmas is coming so soon. And so just a couple of words that on Christmas Eve, we always read the stories of Jesus' birth from Luke's perspective and Luke's gospel. And so this time on the 4th Sunday of Advent, decided to talk about Matthew and how he kind of describes and presents Jesus' birth to the world. And so Luke focuses a lot on Mary. And Matthew really kind of pinpoint on Joseph. And so let me read this. So it's Matthew 1, verses 18 through 25. It goes like that. Now the birth of Jesus the Messiah took place in this way. When his mother Mary had been engaged to Joseph, but before they lived together, she was found to be with child from the Holy Spirit. Her husband Joseph, being a righteous man and unwilling to expose her to public disgrace, planned to dismiss her quietly. But just when he had resolved to do this, an angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream and said, "Joseph, son of David, do not be afraid to take Mary as your wife, for the child conceived in her is from the Holy Spirit. She will bear a son, and you are to name him Jesus, for he will save his people from their sins." All of this took place to fulfill what had been spoken by the Lord through the prophet. "Look, the virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and they shall name him Emmanuel," which means God is with us. When Joseph awoke from sleep, he did as the angel of the Lord commanded him. He took her as his wife, but had no marital relations with her until she had borne a son, and he named him Jesus. So again, the focus here is really on Joseph, and there are no really words that Joseph says. It's just these actions that Joseph does that really truly explain and show his participation in this work of God and this plan of salvation that is unfolding through him to bring Jesus into the world. And so at first, it doesn't seem like Joseph receives a good news. His fiancée is pregnant and not with his own child. And so, of course, in the ancient times, it would dishonor the family, especially the family of Joseph. And so there were some repercussions regarding that in the rabbinic traditions. Now, we know that according to the law that was written, it actually would be stoning to death that would be required for Joseph to do. But we know that at this time, that some of the rabbinic practices did not really talk about it, and there were some other ways of still ways of humiliating and kind of showing disgrace to the woman who would be pregnant before she was married. But what we see here in Joseph, and what I would call how he was acting out of the law, but not of the law, the letter of the law, but the heart of the law. And I would call him how he would act out, he really acted out of love. I don't know if he really was in love with Mary. We don't know that. And we know that in the ancient times, the marriage was not based on a romantic relationship. But by quietly dismissing her, by not letting her be humiliated by the public, something inside tells me that it was love that he was guided by. And amazingly so, then when not yet born Jesus, we know that he came to fulfill the law and to give us the commandment of loving one another. So Joseph, even before he knew that Jesus would be the Son of God, and even before the dream would come to him, he was already fulfilling that law of love. So, friends, I know it's 6 days, I think it's 6 days before Christmas, or whenever you are watching. We are recording on Wednesday. We are all preparing for Christmas. We're baking cookies, we're making last kind of final plans for a meal on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve, and kind of last minute shopping for gifts. So in this hecticness of the season and preparation, how are we inspired by this faithfulness? And Matthew calls him righteousness of Joseph and his act of love towards Mary. How are we, just like Joseph, are engaged in this plan of God in this world, in the work of God of bringing light and hope and love into the world? So friends, as we come to celebrate Christmas, as we're coming closer to that day, may the love of God bless you, and will come to you in new ways to experience that love this Christmas season. So thanks for watching us. Give us likes, even better, share the video. If you're watching it on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. So thank you so much, and bless you.